Hamjambo, muendeleaje? Mimi nipo salama na shukuru Mungu. Karibuni katika hiki kipindi tutakapoenda kusoma pamoja. Oh my God. When I was in high school, my Kiswahili teacher used to tell me that my Swahili was amazing. Now you know that too. Okay. I hope that you're ready to learn, because in this video, I'm going to teach you how to write the agenda of a meeting, and that is the formal agenda. Before we begin writing, we'd want to understand what an agenda is. And an agenda is the list of items to be discussed in a meeting. Let's say we are members of the journalism club and we want to call a meeting. We call that meeting because we have some issues that we want to discuss. Could be discipline of the members, club's financial status, India party, etc. So those are the items to be discussed in the meeting, which is referred to as the agenda. I hope now you clearly understand what an agenda is. The second thing that we want to differentiate is the first meeting and the subsequent meetings. For the first meeting of the year, we are not going to have two items. That is the reading and confirmation and the matters arising. For the first meeting, we are going to have these formats: preliminaries, and then the items to be discussed, agenda of the day. After that, and these items could be 1, 2, 3, or 4. Like we have said, discipline, class financial status, income generating activities, etc. And then we have the any other business. You can have that one. It's a must for you to have it. And finally, the adjournment. The subsequent meetings. And this is meeting number 2, number 3. Since we had the first meeting, we can refer. We can have this item, reading and confirmation of the previous minutes, and we have the matters arising from the previous minutes. After the matters arising, that is when you're going to write the main items to be discussed in the day, and that is the agenda. Could be 3 or 4 or 5, depending on what the club intends to discuss. But if you're writing for the sake of your examination, have at least 4 items. You can have 5, but don't have too much of it. After that, you're going to have the any other business, and finally the adjournment. The format of the agenda is very simple. You just need to understand and master it. And the first thing that we have is the title. The title is the name of the organization or the institution that is calling for the meeting. And then we have the recipient, from, the sender. The date, you just give a complete date. I'm going to show you that. After the date, you're going to have the subject. And this subject is the gist, or what our writing is all about, the gist of the writing. After the gist of the writing, you're going to have the body, and finally the signing off. In the body, we have the introduction. Before we write down our agenda, we're going to have the introduction, and then we list down the agenda. To explain that, I'm going to use this question. Have a look at it. You're the secretary of your school's Young Farmers Club. The club will conduct its end-year meeting on 10th November 2024. The school principal will be attending. Write the agenda that you will send to the principal. 12 marks. Remember, an agenda cannot carry 20 marks. Maybe you might write an agenda and a thank you note or a congratulatory note. Agenda. The first thing that you want to write is the title. The title, and the title carries the name of the group. And what is the name of the group? In this case, Young Farmers Club of your school. Let's assume my school is St. Mary's. So we are going to have our title as the St. Mary's Secondary School Young Farmers Club. That's one mark for the title. And then after the title we have this area, skip a line. I'm going to show you. And then who are we sending to? We're not going to write their names, but their positions. And for us, we're going to send it to the principal. Who is it from? You are the secretary. So it's from the secretary. What is the date? We write a date, today's date. The day that you writing that letter or you writing that agenda, you give that date in this complete date. So before we proceed, have a look at it. That is what I mean by a complete date, which I'm sure that you have already seen. After that, we are going to skip a line and go to the subject. The subject is the gist of the message, the gist of what we are going to send to the principal, or our letter or our functional writing here. And for the agenda, you must begin your subject with agenda 4. Since it's end year meeting, it's the annual general meeting. So we are going to have agenda for the annual general meeting. And we're supposed to have an introductory paragraph. And that paragraph will contain the venue, will contain the time, will contain the date of the event, just to introduce our work properly. Our introduction, or our first paragraph before we list the items, we are going to have this one. Our annual general meeting will be conducted on Friday 20th November 2024 at 10 a.m. in the school's dining hall. Please come prepared to discuss the following. Your agenda must have that introduction because it carries its own marks. And then after that we are going to list the items that we are going to discuss. Because it's all the first meeting, we are going to have the reading and confirmation, and we are going to have the matters arising. And then from there we are going to be creative and formulate the agenda for the day. I tried to come up with something, and this is it. So we have the preliminaries, reading confirmation after matters arising. We're going to have our fourth agenda as the income generating projects, end year party, recruitment of new members, club's uniform, any other business, adjournment. After the adjournment, you're going to sign off. And there is no signature, you just write your name. Semi-ring. So have a look at the whole agenda. Guys, that is how we write the agenda of a meeting. A quick recap. You need to have a title. You need to have these parts: to, from, date, subject, your introduction, which captures the date, the day, the venue, and the time. And then you need to list your agenda and then sign off. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson, and in case you have any question, reach me on the comments. Then I have one question for you. your practice exercise. Assuming you are sending the principal it's the first meeting of the year, and you want to send the agenda to the principal. Try to formulate that agenda. Remember, you're a member of the Young Farmers Club. Let me know your response and the comments. Thank you so much. Bye for now.